Okay, challenge on. You said you were going to tell us about the rubber. Yes, I did. You're right. I am going to tell you about the rubber. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go and prep the area it's going in, and then I'll come straight back and we'll get right into it and I'll tell you everything we need to know. So, see you in a minute. Okay, what I'm doing now, we've just swept the place out, we've just scrubbed it, you just see me do that. What I'm doing now is I'm just soaking the whole floor in PVA. The reason being is it's really dry. As soon as we put the wet pour rubber on it, it's going to suck the moisture out of it and it's going to give me very little time to play with it and mould it. So basically what I did was, it's about 5-to-1, big brewing tub or big plastering tub, whichever way you want to look at it, and a whole tub of PVA, mixed it all up, and I'm just literally just going to pour it on here. I've done the whole thing whilst it's just going to soak overnight, and then I'm just going to come back and get rid of the rest of it and just soak the floor. So there's no such thing as putting too much down, so I just want to soak it, let it soak in, and we've built ourselves a little bit of a film to put the rubber on. We've prepared the surface, we've already talked about where we're going to put this rubber. Just going to do a bit of an explanation on what we're talking about, because some people might not understand what wet pour rubber is. You might have seen it around in play parks, kiddies play parks, which is all bright colours with snakes and hopscotch and all kinds of different stuff. So you can do lots of stuff with it. Basically you mix it like you mix in a mixer, which we're going to talk about in a minute, and it comes in 3 different things. So when you're talking about rubber, you can either have shredded tyres, which is recycling, brilliant, upcycling. Tyre gets shredded, all the metal gets taken out of it, and then you might see it in equestrian centres, you might see it in play parks all loose. You've also got SBR, which is styrene butadiene rubber, SBR, which is the next step down. It's basically a synthetic rubber which is brand new, chemicals mixed together, and it comes out as a grain. And then you get the final, which is the top coat, which is the nice coloured stuff, is called ethylene propylene diene monomer, which is basically another synthetic rubber. I'm not going to use that word again, but it's known as EPDM. So you might see EPDM being used on roofs instead of fiberglass or roofing felt, and it comes in big rolls. Brilliant stuff. Obviously waterproof, it can deal with the weather, it can deal with all kinds of different environmental issues, and it's soft. So when you see it in play parks, we're not going to talk about that right now, because all we're going to do is go around a swimming pool. So we're going to be using it to be soft under the feet, to be waterproof and to drain off, and basically if the kids slip and fall or we slip and fall, you're not going to hurt yourself. If you're going to use it in a play park, there's different depths that you need for fall heights. So for instance, if you've got a climbing frame that's 2 meters high and somebody might fall 2 meters and hit the ground, you need at least 80 to 100 mil of rubber to allow that bounce. Again, we're not going to talk about that too much. If you get in touch with us, if you want any more questions, I'm still learning as well. So what we're going to do now is, we've got 2 options here. We've got the EPDM, and we've got, which is all the different bags of rubber in different colours. We've got blue, we've got yellow, we've got red, and we've got a little bit of black. When I started doing this a few years ago and I didn't get it finished, which is a common theme if you think in these videos, I decided I was going to have it all one colour rather than try and do any kind of pictures. So basically I mixed the 4 colours and we came up with this. Quite like it, but I've kind of gone off it a little bit now. So what I'm going to do, and what we've decided to do, is just use the blue and the yellow, because it gives, once that's laid and it's a finished product, that'll be quite a nice cover. It'll be nice and grippy, and it'll be quite bright and vibrant. So we're going to go for that. So the ratios that we need to do is basically 5-to-1, so 5 rubber to 1 glue. So this here is the resin or the glue or the binder. It's basically glue. So what we're going to be doing is, you don't mix it in a normal mixer, you mix it in a special mixer like this. It's called a fixed paddle mixer. It's used for rubber, or it's used for resin drives, that kind of thing. So the difference is that the actual drum stays still, which normal mixers, obviously the drum moves and the paddles move around, and that allows it to mix better and mix all the glue into the actual granules. So what you're going to be left with, a bit of a mush. So basically what we would do is we'd switch it on. A little spike on the top, so your hands are nowhere near it. You put your bag on there, this pierces the bag and it fills in. So what we need to do now is, I've got some weighing scales behind us. We're going to work out the ratios. We're going to work out how much glue that we need, or how much binder we need, and we're going to mix it up. Once it's fully mixed, we then open the we then open this, and it'll fall and it'll come back out. Obviously I've not put the resin in that yet, and I haven't mixed it yet, so literally that's what we're going to do. This is now mixing. Leave it for about 10-15 minutes and it'll just get the resin in and amongst all the tiny little granules, so when we lay it, it'll stick lovely. Big bucket of Fairy liquid, pretty much like Mike covered with his plastering. Everything needs to stay clean. The cleaner your tools, the easier this is going to be. So we're basically going to put it in the bucket, we're going to take it down, and we're going to lay it. The tools we're going to use is an old trowel, an old float, sorry, just to scrape everything and roughly get it into the place. We're then going to use some kind of metal edge to get it roughly level. We're then going to use a plastering trowel to tamp it down and to scrape it and to basically float it into all the little areas to get as flat as possible. And then the final thing we'll use is a little stipple roller. So these are basically fiberglass in rollers, this one will get into all the corners and this one will level it all out. So it's trial and error, never done it before. That's the tools we're going to use. Next thing you're going to see us is laying it. That's it. Right, it's been a long day and my back's a little bit sore, but we've managed to get it all down. It's quite keen on doing it in a wanna, just because I wasn't sure whether if you stop you'll be able to see the join, so I just cracked on. Quite easy when you've got a group of little helpers who are mixing for you, which has been brilliant. So that's it, wet pole rubber. Hopefully it's going to dry overnight, or maybe it'll take a whole day. And we'll come and have a look tomorrow and we'll have a walk on it and see what's good. But that's it. Okay, welcome back everybody. 2 days since we laid this and this blue, which we'll talk about in a minute. Welcome back everybody, back inside to where we laid the wet pole rubber the other day. It's 2 days since we laid it. Reason being, it's taken a couple of days to go off. It's indoors, so it's not getting a massive amount of airflow as it would do outside. And some areas that we put it down, it was a little bit deeper than others, so it took a while to go off. We ended up putting probably about 20 mil on this side and about 10 mil on that side, so that it flows nicely down and the water will run back into the pool. So we've laid it a little bit different. We mixed the two colours together, so we've got a blue and we've got a yellow, which I thought would go really well with the blue pool and the yellow, or the yellowish sandstone around it. So it was a good little mix. We laid it in a wanna. I said that anyway. 2 reasons: I didn't want any seams, and also I was a little bit lazy and I didn't really want to wash the mixer out twice. So it's gone all the way through and one little flow, gone into the 3 rooms, which we'll talk about in a minute. and that's that. So if you follow me into here, this is more of a games room. Laid it slightly differently in here, had a little bit of fun with the colours rather than mixing them, and what I've actually gone for, a little bit of an idea in my head, it's probably just in my head though, wanted to have a bit of fun around the bar, so I've gone for the blue against the bar, and then the yellow, and then the green, so it's kind of depicting, you probably see it or not, no, just me, you'll probably see the sea, and then we've got a little bit of sand or a beach, and then into the land. So I wanted to have this strip by the bar basically for stools, and there'll be spillages, etc, and I just wanted to have a little bit of fun. You could probably go and put some stencils on it, and you could probably put some little crabs or maybe little fish, and just have a bit of fun with it. So that's what we've done in here. So this is wet pour rubber inside. We had a little bit of leftover stuff, which I made some moulds out of a bit of plywood, and I made some rubber railway sleepers, threw a little bit of steel in there, and we're just about to take the moulds off now. Why did I do that? Had a little bit of leftover stuff. I think they'll make brilliant verges or planters in a garden. They won't rot because it's rubber, and they'll last for years, and they'll add a little bit of colour. So we're going to do some stuff outdoors in the next couple of days with the rubber and see what we can get away with. I really want to replace some of my decking with it. Reason being is the decking is lethal when it gets wet, most of it, unless you've got the money to pay for composite decking. You'll end up having to put chicken wire on it, or it'll become unusable, especially with the winter we've just had. So we're going to have a little bit of play. We're going to put some plywood sheets down, we're going to lay a thin layer of the rubber, maybe play with some patterns and see how it works outdoor. Apparently it's brilliant with frost, it's brilliant with hot weather, and we already know it's non-slip. So tune in for the next instalment of Wet Pour Rubber.